We started in 1974 as an executive reference checking company. That was our specialty then. Different times in the early 70s, we were started as an investigative reference checking company where we would call a company where a candidate used to work and we would try to resource and determine our own references from that company. HR became a thing. Obviously, you can't do that today because we live in Canada. You must have consent. You must have the candidate's consent to give you the references. But references, we find, are still a very good indicator on how someone is going to perform for you. And if done properly, it's still a very important part of the onboarding process. In terms of our reference checks, we're a little old school in that regard. We still like to pick up the phone and actually call a reference. We vet that it's not a planted reference because that's something you do have to be careful about today, that it is a planted reference. So you want to make sure that it was not, and there's different ways on doing that, really digging deep into the responsibilities. But reference checking, making sure you've got the right person on the phone and actually conducting the interview via phone is very important because your job is doing the reference check. Here's the key thing is you need to listen to what's not being said. And if you do them in call centers or we've even heard by email, it's not our thing. We don't recommend it. At that point, you're basically just checking a box. We're still old school in that regard, and references are one of our most important things that we can get a lot of value from.